University Challenge. Asking the questions, Jeremy Paxman.
Hello, it's red brick against plate glass tonight as two teams from opposite sides of the Pennines compete for a place in the second round. The losers could qualify to play again too if their score places them among the four highest scoring losing teams from these first round matches. Manchester University has hit its stride in this competition in the last decade with 4 series titles to its name. It traces its origins to the foundation in 1851 of Owen's College, established by the bequest of the local cotton magnate John Owen, with the stipulation that there should be no form of religious test for either students or staff. Continued expansion and a serpentine series of mergers since then has led the university to become one of the largest in the UK. Sir Bernard Lovell, the creator of the giant radio telescope at Jodrell Bank, worked there, as did Ernest Rutherford, who first split the atom, and the computer pioneer Alan Turing. Murray Stopes also taught there. With an average age of 20 and representing 38,000 students, let's meet the Manchester team.
Hi, I'm James Horton. I'm from Manchester and I study maths and physics.
Hi, I am Asnat Katz. I am from North London and I am currently reading physics with study in Europe.
And this is their captain.
Hello, I'm Graham Abbott. I'm from Bolton in Lancashire and I study theology.
Hi, I'm Jacob Roberts. I'm from Oldham in Lancashire and I'm studying for an MA in History.
Now, the idea for a university at York was first considered by James I in 1617, and with the alacrity for which the academic world is so renowned, its first students were admitted a mere 346 years later during the government of Harold Macmillan. One of the so-called plate glass universities, it came into being with the support of J.B. Morrell, twice Mayor of York and the director of the local Rowntree's confectionery company, which had made its fortune with fruit gums and Smarties. It's famous for its campus location, its purpose-built lakes and its population of wildfowl, whose Duck of the Day page on Facebook has attracted 44,000 likes. Alumni include the chair of the FA, Greg Dyke, and the authors Helen Dunmore, Jung Chang, Anthony Horowitz and Graham Swift. With an average age of 22 and representing around 15,000 students, let's meet the team from York.
Hello, my name's Barto Jolilo-Binière. I'm from London and I'm studying history.
Hello, I'm Sam Smith. I'm from Guernsey and I study chemistry.
This is their captain.
Hello, my name's David Landon Cole. I'm from Yeovil in Somerset and I'm studying politics.
Hi, I'm Joseph McLaughlin. I'm from Oldham in Lancashire and I'm studying chemistry.
OK, you all know the rules. 10 points for starters, 15 for bonuses, so let's crack on with it. What given name is shared by a poet described by Francis Cornford as a young Apollo, golden-haired, a nephew of Charles I, who commanded troops in the Civil War, and a fictional...
Joly de Lotbinière.
Rupert.
Rupert is correct, yes. So I said the bonuses on Germany. Here's the first. Who scored Germany's winning goal in the FIFA World Cup final against Argentina on July the 13th, 2014?
Nominate McLaughlin.
Mario Götze.
Mario Götze is correct. Named in reference to a prosthesis he wore following the loss of his right arm, Götz of the Iron Hand was a robber baron during the early 16th century and the title character of a stage work by which German literary figure born in 1749?
Goethe.
We think it might be Goethe.
You're correct. In 1888, which philosopher published Die Götzendämmerung, or Twilight of the Idols? Its subtitle is often translated as How to Philosophize with a Hammer.
Nietzsche.
Nietzsche is correct, yes. 10 points for this. Published from the 1980s, Manufacturing Consent, Understanding Power...
York Cole.
Noam Chomsky.
Correct. Right, a set of bonuses for you then. York on recipients of the USA's highest civilian award, the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Firstly, on accepting the award in 2013, which feminist and co-founder of Ms. magazine declared that it was a medal for the entire women's movement?
Can't be Jermaine Greer.
Germaine Greer.
No, she's Australian. It's Gloria Steinem, the founder of Very Special Arts, an organisation that promotes the artistic abilities of children living with disabilities. Which former US ambassador to Ireland received the medal in 2011?
Mary something. Can't remember.
It's Jean Kennedy Smith. And finally, awarded the medal for her role as a champion of democracy and human rights, which 2012 recipient was the USA's first female Secretary of State?
Madeleine Albright.
Correct. 10 points for this. In astronomy, what term meaning hunchback is applied to the phase of the moon when it's between either quadrature and opposition and appears more than half but less than fully illuminated?
Manchester Cats.
Gibbous. Correct, yes. So you get your first set of bonuses. Manchester, they're on hedgerow fruits, as described by the website of the Royal Botanic Gardens at Kew. In each case, give the common name of the fruit described. Firstly, Sambucus nigra, a short-lived, sometimes scruffy-looking shrub that grows in hedgerows on waste ground and railway embankments. The flat-topped heads of white flowers have a delicate beauty.
Oh, it's niggers. Black of some... Would you
I don't know. I would...
of some kind of...
I don't know.
Blackberry.
No, it's the elder. Secondly, Crategus monogyna. Its dense foliage and sharp spines keep grazing animals and even people at bay. The fruit can be made into jellies or jams or be used to flavour spirits, such as brandy.
No, that's a blackberry.
Do you think that is? Blackberry?
No, that's hawthorn. And finally, Prunus spinosa, a shrub with pure white flowers and dark thorny branch. It is perhaps best known for its fruits, which are used to produce sloe gin.
Could be juniper.
Juniper?
No, it's blackthorn. Right, we're going to take a picture round. For your picture starter, you're going to see the outline of a sovereign island nation. 10 points if you can name it.
York Smith.
Madagascar.
Correct. Your bonus is York are 3 more island nations shown in the same way. 5 points for each country you can name. Firstly, for 5.
Malta. Yeah.
Malta.
That is Malta. Secondly,
I think that's St Vincent and the Grenadines.
St Vincent and the Grenadines.
correct. And finally,
Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka.
correct. Well done. 10 points for this starter. God acts like the greatest geometer who prefers the best construction of problems. These are the words of which German philosopher, born 1646?
Manchester Horton.
Leibniz.
Leibniz is correct, yes. Manchester, these bonuses are on the poems of Philip Larkin. Simply name the poem from which the following lines are taken. I need the precise title, not the first line. At first, I didn't notice what a noise the weddings made, each station that we stopped at.
Whitsun weddings.
The Whitsun weddings is correct. Secondly, man hands on misery to man, it deepens like a coastal shelf.
The only one I got was 1914.
It's not that one.
Nominate Roberts.
I forgot, sorry.
Sorry, well, thank heavens you didn't give us the first line. It's this be the verse. And finally, sexual intercourse began in 1963, which was rather late for me.
I think it might actually be called 1963, but I'm not sure.
Would you go?
It's,
Anything. 1963.
No, it's Annus Mirabilis. 10 points for this. Examples of what specific art form inspired all of the following? Firstly, Rachmaninoff's symphonic poem, The Isle of the Dead. Secondly, Stephen Sondheim's musical Sunday in the Park with George. And thirdly, Tracy Chevalier's novel Girl with a Pearl Earring.
Manchester Cats.
Painting, visual arts. They're all painting.
Paintings is correct, yes. Manchester, these bonuses are on international sporting competitions. Firstly, a Hertfordshire seed merchant donated the trophy for a biennial sporting event originally contested between the USA and Great Britain in 1927. Both the trophy and the competition are known as what?
The Ryder Cup.
Correct. Originally called the 100 Sovereign Cup, which contest was first won in 1851 by a 100-foot schooner from New York City. The winners donated the cup for a perpetual challenge competition.
America's Cup.
Correct. First awarded in 1961, the Frank Worrell Trophy is awarded to the winners of Test series between which two international cricket sides?
I think it might be the West Indies and Australia.
West Indies and Australia. You think that? West Indies in Australia?
Correct. Right, 10 points for this starter. Give the five-letter adjective that completes this statement by the US journalist H.L. Mencken. There is always an easy solution to every human problem. Neat, plausible and...
York Cole.
Wrong.
Wrong is correct, yes. You get 3 questions on an Italian city. Now the capital of Liguria, which city was the birthplace in 1451 of the explorer Christopher Columbus?
Genoa.
Correct. Noted for his work on the Pompidou Centre in Paris, which Genoese architect redesigned some of his own city's subway stations?
Renzo Piano.
Renzo Piano.
Correct. Perhaps best known for his 24 Caprices, which violinist and composer was born in Genoa in 1782. The city holds a biennial violin competition in his honour.
Paganini.
Correct. Right, another starter question. In classical music, what French term is commonly used to refer to a lament inspired by the death of a musician or other noteworthy individual? And
Manchester Abbott.
Requiem.
now I'm afraid you lose 5 points. An example being Ravel's Piano Suite, written in the spirit of François Couperin.
York McLaughlin.
A grave?
No, it's a tombeau. 10 points for this starter question. With geysers of nitrogen, making it one of the few volcanically active bodies in the solar system, what is the only large moon to orbit in the...
York McLaughlin.
Io.
I'm afraid you lose 5 points. To orbit in the opposite direction to its planet's rotation. Discovered in 1846, it is named after a merman in Greek myth.
Manchester Cats.
Uranus.
No, it's not. It's Triton, Neptune's moon. Right, 10 points for this. Which present-day European capital was ruled by the Rurik dynasty from the 9th to the 13th century?
York Smith.
Moscow.
You lose 5 points. Sited on the river Dnieper, it became the capital of an independent country in 1991.
Manchester Horton.
Kiev.
Kiev is correct, yes. Right, a set of bonuses this time on economics for you. Firstly, what two-word metaphor did Adam Smith introduce for the idea that an individual's pursuit of their own gain results in the common good?
The invisible hand.
The invisible hand.
Correct. Adam Smith's invisible hand is invisible, at least in part, because it's not there. These are the words of which US Nobel laureate writing in 2002?
Krugman, do you reckon?
Paul Krugman.
No, it's Joseph Stiglitz. And finally, in the same article, Stiglitz noted that which British economist described the stock market as a beauty contest in which the winner is the one who guesses best what the judges will say?
Keynes.
Keynes is correct. We're going to take a music round now. For your music starter, you'll hear an excerpt from a piece of classical music. For 10 points, give me both the name of the entire work from which the piece is taken and the composer.
Manchester Roberts.
Tchaikovsky, Nutcracker Suite.
No, you can hear a little bit more, York.
York McLaughlin.
Tchaikovsky, Swan Lake.
Correct. Right, your bonuses, York, are also musical. Following on from Swan Lake, your bonuses 3 excerpts from classical works in which a swan is having a hard time of it. I want the name of the composer in each case. Firstly, this German composer.
just need the composer.
It's just, it sounds quite Wagnerian.
Yeah.
Wagner.
Wagner.
No, that's Karl Orff. The swan there is being roasted on a spit. Secondly, this Nordic composer.
Go with Greek.
Greek or Sibelius? Greek?
I would go with Greek.
Yeah? People happy with that? Yeah, happy with Greek. Grieg.
No, that's Sibelius is the Swan of Tuonela, where the hero's about to kill the eponymous swan. And finally, this French composer, please.
I'm reliably informed that it's Sanson.
It is Sanson from the Carnival of the Animals, as danced by Anna Pavlova, the dying swan. Right, 10 points for this. In zoology, what would be shunned or avoided by an organism described as lucifugous?
Manchester Abbot.
Light.
Correct. Right, bonuses this time on sweeteners. Firstly, which sugar substitute for diabetics is formed as a result of the reduction of the aldehydo-carbon of D-glucose or by the catalytic hydrogenation of sucrose?
Sucralose.
Sucralose.
I think so.
Do you think?
I think so. I don't know.
Sucralose.
No, it's sorbitol. Obtained from a plant long used as a sweetener in Paraguay and Brazil, which calorie-free granular white powder was approved as a food additive in the EU in 2011?
No,
No, I don't.
We'll pass.
It's stevia. And finally, discovered in the USA in 1879, which organic compound has about 200 to 700 times the sweetening power of granulated sugar?
Could be aspartame. I do not know.
I think we'll say it. Aspartame.
No, it's saccharin. 10 points for this. Concerning a woman whose unnamed son proclaimed himself the Son of God, The Testament of Mary is a novel of 2012 by which Irish author?
York Jolie de la Binière.
Colm Toibin.
Colm Tóibín is correct, yes. These bonuses, York, are on warships. Named after a leading figure in the German Navy in the years before World War I, which battleship was finally sunk by Lancaster bombers in the waters of northern Norway in November 1944?
The Tirpitz.
Correct. On Boxing Day 1943, which German battlecruiser was sunk by the battleship Duke of York? It was named after the Prussian general who developed the modern general staff system.
Sorry? Bismarck. He's not a general. It's, I don't know, I'm afraid. Blucher? Pardon? Blucher? Yes, go with him, yeah.
Blucher.
No, it's the Scharnhorst. In 1941, which battleship sank HMS Hood with a shell that exploded in the battle cruiser's magazine? It was later sunk by torpedoes from the cruiser Dorsetshire.
Graf Spray.
No, that went down at the River Plate. Do you want to try Blucher?
What's the sister ship? There's a sister ship of Tirpitz.
Well, wasn't that the, what's it?
Bismarck.
Bismarck.
Correct. 10 points for this. After the surnames of two British pathologists, the letters EBV stand for which common virus? It's a common cause of glandular...
York Smith.
Epstein-Barr.
Correct. These bonuses, York, are on English art galleries. Noted for its collection of modern British art, the Pallant House Gallery is in which county town and cathedral city at the foot of the South Downs?
What? Chichester. Is that a county town?
Canterbury's not.
Yeah. Go with that. Well, Winchester.
Winchester.
I was going to say Chichester.
I think Chichester's closer.
Let's have an answer.
Chichester.
Correct. The Derby Museum and Art Gallery has a large collection of the work of which locally born painter? It includes the 1766 work, A Philosopher Lecturing on the Orrery.
Hogarth.
No, it's Joseph Wright, Wright of Derby. And finally, the Wolsey Gallery is noted for its collection of paintings by John Constable and is located in which county town near the village of his birth?
Constable from? Well, he was from Suffolk.
Sudbury.
Well, he was born in Sudbury, so I would guess Ipswich.
I think that's kind of
We're going to go with Ipswich.
Well, you're going in the correct direction. Well done. Right, we're going to take another picture round now. For your picture starter, you're going to see a photograph of an artist. 10 points if you can name him, please.
York-Jolie de la Binière.
Anthony Gormley.
It is Anthony Gormley, yes. In 2009, Anthony Gormley made a cameo appearance as himself in The Archers, turning up at an Ambridge fete to judge an art contest. For your picture bonuses, more of the diverse public figures who found themselves in Ambridge over the years. In each case, all you have to do is name them. Firstly, for 5.
Oh, it's the guy from... I'm sorry, I haven't a clue.
The guy from what?
I'm sorry, I haven't a clue. I can't remember. Humphrey Littleton.
Correct. Secondly,
That's the Bond girl, isn't it?
Well, the 007 gave that away.
Yeah. That's from Ursula Andress.
I don't know any English ones.
Ursula Andress? I don't know.
We could go with that.
I don't think we've got anything else.
Ursula Andress.
no, that's Britt Ekland. And finally, the name of this band, please.
Oh, Pet Shop
The
Boys.
Pet Shop Boys.
The Pet Shop Boys.
Indeed. Well done. Right, another starter question. Which language is co-official with Castilian in the Spanish autonomous community whose cities...
Manchester Horton.
Galician.
That's correct. Of course it's correct. But how could you know that without knowing which cities I was going to mention? I'm impressed. Right, Manchester, these are bonuses on UNESCO World Heritage Sites. 12 World Heritage Sites were inscribed in 1978, the first year of inscription. They include which cathedral in Western Germany, the burial place of the Emperor Charlemagne?
I think it might be.
Cologne.
No, it's Aachen. Secondly, also inscribed in 1978 and noted for the 12th century cliff dwellings of the ancient Pueblo people, Mesa Verde National Park is in which US state?
Mesa, would it be Arizona?
Arizona.
No, it's Colorado. In which country are the rock-hewn churches of Lalibela, one of the first African World Heritage Sites to be inscribed?
Ethiopia.
Correct. 5.5 minutes to go, 10 points for this. With regard to crystal structure, if the atoms are arranged with octahedral geometry, what is the coordination number?
York Smith.
6.
Correct. You get a set of bonuses this time, York, on a US president. Which 20th century president's domestic programme was known as the Square Deal? It included control of corporations and consumer protection.
That's from Roosevelt, is it?
Oh, that would be the New Deal.
No, Teddy Roosevelt. Is it Coolidge or Hoover? Or Coolidge? Not
You
probably
didn't
not
really do
Hoover.
anything.
Teddy Roosevelt.
Maybe Harding or Coolidge.
Theodore Roosevelt.
Correct. What two-word nickname came to be given to the independent Progressive Party founded by Roosevelt in 1912?
Bull Moose.
Correct. Roosevelt won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1906 for his role as a negotiator in which conflict?
Spanish-American War. Was in the one that, yeah, I think so. 1906, they said.
Like Russo-Japanese, maybe.
This is the Philippines.
What, sorry?
I know that
Yeah, I think it's a Spanish-American War, I think.
Who fought in that, though?
Yeah.
No.
Let's have it, please.
Russo-Japanese.
Correct. 10 points for this. Ak Arslan and Malik Shah were among the sultans of which...
York Smith.
Seljuk.
Correct. These bonuses, York, are on Indonesia. What is the northernmost province of Sumatra, an oil-rich area? It was badly affected by the tsunami of 2004.
Nominate Smith.
Aceh.
Correct. Its capital, Jayapura. What is the largest and easternmost province of Indonesia? I need the 5-letter name by which it's been known since 2002.
Papua.
Correct. Which island is the smallest province of Indonesia? It's often viewed as a Hindu enclave in a predominantly Muslim country.
Is it Bali?
Bali.
Bali is right. 3.5 minutes to go, 10 points for this. What single-word term denotes a machine such as those designed by Leonardo da Vinci in the late 15th century, intended to fly by flapping wings in imitation
York
of a...
Cole.
Ornithopter.
Correct. Your bonuses this time are on crowns, York. In 2005, whose coat of arms dispensed with the image of a 3-tiered tiara, replacing it with a pointed mitre and the woolen stole known as the pallium?
Pope.
2005, so Benedict XVI.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Pope Benedict XVI.
Correct. The Pope is correct. Which king's coronation crown of 1722 has survived the destruction of the French Revolution and subsequent sales?
It's the crown. It's the crown, it said, yeah.
Oh, the crown.
So whose crown?
Whose crown's?
1722.
17, Louis the 15th?
Is it Louis XIV?
I think Louis XIV.
Come on.
Earlier. Maybe Louis XV.
Louis XV.
Louis XV.
Louis XV.
Correct. Dating to the 13th or 14th century, the golden cap, known as the crown of Monomac, is the most ancient monument in the armoury regalia collection of which country?
Hungary, I think it might be.
Yeah.
We're going to go with Hungary.
No, it's Russia. 10 points for this. Stage 3 of the 2014 Tour de France began in which city? Stages 1 and 2 having begun...
York Smith.
Cambridge.
Cambridge is correct. These bonuses, York, are on human anatomy. The acinar cells make up around 95% of the exocrine portion of which gland of the digestive system?
Pancreas? Gallbladder?
Gallbladder, because that's the answer. Maybe the gallbladder.
Yeah.
Gallbladder.
No, it's the pancreas. Which organ of the body is composed of tissue known as red pulp and white pulp?
Spleen. Is it? Okay.
I think it's spleen.
Come on.
Spleen.
Correct. Finally, a cholecystectomy is the surgical removal of which small organ located beneath the liver?
That's the gallbladder.
The gallbladder.
Correct. Another sub-question now. Identify the poet who wrote these lines. One equal temper of heroic hearts made weak by time and fate, but strong in will, to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield.
Manchester Horton.
Byron.
Anyone like to buzz from York?
York Smith.
Wilfred Owen.
No, it's Tennyson, the last 3 lines of Ulysses. 10 points for this. Settled in the 5th century BC, Samarkand is in which country?
York Smith.
Uzbekistan.
Correct. You get a set of bonuses now. On the works of Benjamin Britten, in each case, name the opera in which the following characters appear. Firstly, Sir Robert Cecil, Sir Walter Raleigh, and Robert Devereux, Earl of Essex.
Gloriana, I think.
Gloriana.
Correct. Secondly, First Lieutenant Mr. Redburn, Captain Vere, and Claggart, the Master-at-Arms.
I don't know that. What do you think?
Billy Budd or Billy Budd?
Come on.
Billy Budd.
Billy Budd.
Correct. And finally, an unnamed governess, Miles, Flora, Miss Jessel, and Peter Quint.
That's not the
It's the most famous one.
Yeah.
Quickly. Come on.
We don't know.
It's the turn of the screw, and at the goal, Manchester University have 90, the University of York have 265. Well, let's be frank, it's not a great score, Manchester, but thank you very much for joining us. You were just not on song tonight, I guess, but thank you very much for playing. York 265 is a very impressive score. We should look forward to seeing you definitely in the next stage of the competition. Congratulations to you. I hope you can join us next time for another first-round match, but until then, it's goodbye from Manchester University.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
It's goodbye from York University.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.